All right. Let me know when you're good to go, Daniel.
Well, first of all, you could not almost call me Monty.
I was just talking to Monty.
You could start with that. Though I will say, Monty, you've got one of those names that's like really unique. Not a ton of people are called Monty.
I'm going to be honest, Monty. When you first told me your name, I half thought you were joking.
Oh shit.
I was completely muted. Yes, Daniel, that's true. And ha ha ha, Richard, I wasn't.
You're not like a Todd, or
I'm
a Chad,
Monty.
or yeah. It's like that's pretty solid. We're live, by the way. You can say whatever the fuck you want, I guess.
Oh, sweet.
Alrighty. Well, Daniel, in that case, what do you got going on this week?
So as I mentioned last week, our podcast schedule is like really messed up. The next one's going to be on Saturday, where Chris and I are going to go see Superman, James Gunn's Superman, and then that will be the topic for our podcast on Saturday. That'll be sometime in the afternoon, I think, or early evening. We're not really sure yet, but tune in for that, and then Battlefront Thursday and Friday. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome back to Gungans and Dragons, Pirates of Drinax edition, and welcome to the session right before our 1-year anniversary of this campaign.
Dun, da, da, dun,
Did
ba,
you-
ba, 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 ba.
Did you just pause for? Did you pause for applause there? Because I could have keyed up like the
Yes,
Stars and Stripes forever.
And I knew Monty was going to deliver. So for those of you out there who have played tabletop games before, reaching the 1-year mark for a campaign that's ongoing that ostensibly runs once a week is a relatively rare feat. So everybody should be congratulated that we have made it this far. And, thank you for sharing your own imaginations and lives with me for the past year. And let's keep this truck going. Let's start with introductions. I believe we're still going by the characters' alphabetical order, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with April and Andrew.
Hi, I'm April. I play Andrew. She's a spacer from Drinax, and she's trying to work through several situations that are going on the ship, and hopefully everything goes well.
You, April. So many names that
Sharky.
towards the end of the alphabet. Okay, Monty and Sharky.
My name's Monty. I play Sharky Sparks. He is a country bumpkin from Heratis, the current pilot, and hopefully he doesn't crash and kill everybody.
Does Sharky know how to play the mandolin?
No,
He
he
well, he
doesn't
should.
know how to play.
He should learn. He should learn the mandolin or the banjo.
Okay, so I believe in that case it should be Wenton and Sven.
I am Winton. I'm playing Sven Bjorn, the ship's security officer / team tank. I do what I can to help Andrew figure out some of the various issues with the people. And then after we get through introductions, I want to just briefly address the GM in front of everybody for a moment.
Oh.
Okay, and then we have Daniel and Ukuna.
Who is the captain of our flagship, the guy named McCore, the newly christened, also our newly christened pirate fleet of 2 ships, who used to be a spy and has in different ways and in different times in his life been horrendously and horrifically injured and is more machine now than man.
The only correction that I will put there is technically, at the moment, it's 3 ships.
Oh, yeah, I guess we have the Bloody Elf hanging out with us.
Yes. And then, last but not least,
Ray.
we have Sean and Urian.
Hell yeah, we do. Yeah, I play Urian, who got a stern talking to a couple sessions ago and last session.
You're not still like... That's not... You're not still thinking about that, are you?
What? No.
Okay.
This is just notes. No, Daniel, don't ever feel bad for role playing. I know when it's kind of like.
You just said it in a way that made it sound like it kept you up.
Oh no, not at all. Like
In fact, he slept like a baby.
Well, you know what his character did kept my character up. So
Seems to be a lot of that going around.
Yeah, no, don't ever feel bad for role playing. Like, in fact, I always encourage it more because I like when like players participate. It's always fun.
That's my secret, Sean. I never feel bad about anything.
All right. Well, and I was just kidding because the last one wasn't Sean. It's me, Richard, the GM/referee for this Traveler game who helps facilitate the various NPCs that the players interact with during the course of the game and figuring out what all these dice rolls really mean. At the end of the last session, everyone vamoosed from their current system and went into jump space. Urian went back onto his ship, the Bloody Elf, to do a single jump. You were all aiming for the depot that Krish introduced to you before. It's in the middle of an empty parsec. And you had a series of conversations that, some were nicer than others. And in fact, Sharky even found a very profitable secret conversation to take part of that the senior staff isn't allowed to really know about. But we are here. You're in the middle of your jump. And it's been, at this point, a couple of days. You all informed me what you wanted to be kind of studying over this period. Are there any other things that I should know of that you want your characters to have done in this jump past your 8 hours a day of training?
I don't think. Wenton, did you say you needed to say something?
Yeah, well, just real quickly, I owe you an apology, Richard. I was kind of frustrated with you last week because I thought some of the physics of the game were kind of off. Specifically, the fact that it takes so long for a gun to charge. I did do some research, and damn, the books actually say it takes half an hour for that stupid thing to charge.
Yep.
So I was
For what
I was
gun?
absolutely- the ship's main gun.
Oh, like between shots?
I didn't see anything about that, but when it's about to go into combat, the initial charge, it takes half an hour for that thing.
That also could have been because we had powered down all of our weapons too, so like we were completely cold.
Yes, so you have to do the initial power-up. Yeah, the initial power-up times of all these various systems can take quite a while.
Yep.
Which I think is reflected a bit for how space combat can be. Like, the longer distance you are away from each other, the longer the rounds are. I think you only go into, like, 6-second rounds when you get into kind of, like, knife edge fighting, and your ships are, like, literally, like, you could look out a porthole and actually see the other ship.
Right.
That's also why we should probably have a plan for different like ship readiness scenarios, which is something I have to like think about and sketch out.
Yeah, and I've got a couple ideas, but I want to talk to you offline about some of those.
Okay.
And then
All
the
right.
second thing, Richard, was also we talked about the 50,000 kilometer range of the ships, and that it would take 50 minutes, I think was the estimate we made. So I went back and I did the calculations, and I had to find out in Traveler what the engine's thrust and all of that stuff is. And I calculated 53 minutes. So your estimate was pretty damn close.
Yes, I didn't want to be the super nerd and be like, it's actually 53 minutes exactly. Keep that 3 minutes in mind. No, I wanted to round it so it sounded a bit nicer.
Wenton,
Oh,
I
please.
I liked how you attacked the problem as an engineer would and did the math.
Oh yeah. That one thing I really like about this game and this system is like there were people that thought very hard about all of these engineering issues with all of these various different systems and whatnot, and you can be pretty like hard science with it if you really want to. They even have a setting in this that is all like there aren't even any jump drives, and you're having to like calculate all of these different like travel systems when you are in system and everything, and it gets really crunchy.
Yeah. Well, that was making the assumption that a ship was accelerating at 1G. I did find documentation that police cruisers and things like that would accelerate between 4 and 6G, and that would have greatly abbreviated that. But,
Yes.
for 1G calculation, that was pretty much spot on.
Yeah, I think there are also systems that you could put in place, like special harnesses and suits that you can wear, and even special drugs to help you withstand higher Gs.
Yeah.
You can do the crazy
So,
breaths that fighter pilots do when they pull.
Yeah, I mean,
We just all breathe weird.
It would be kind of similar to what you see in The Expanse when they are trying to go at like accelerate at super high velocities, where they're actually pumping drugs into their blood to make them withstand these speeds.
Well, that's why so many science fiction genres also have some sort of inertial field equivalent.
Oh, like the Enterprise has the inertial dampener, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so does Sven want to do anything extra other than his training for this week?
No, just focusing on that recon.
Okay, and yeah, let me just go down the line. Okay, so Daniel, does Ukuluna want to do anything extra other than the training for this week?
No. And I'm still reading self-help books, right? On leadership.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine you're doing something before you go to bed at night, so that could just be like your nighttime reading.
Yeah, that's my.
So you're still doing your sword training right now?
No. I have been.
You're just doing leadership.
Yeah. Well, can I do both?
No, because each one you need to devote 8 hours a day.
Well, yeah, I'll do the leadership one then.
Is Ukluna reading Gandhi McCore's book on captaining?
Well, Gandhi McCore's book wasn't really about captaining. It was about like the economics of like.
Yes, Sean. The answer is yes, but it isn't necessarily for leadership.
Okay.
Just because I kind of miss him.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, right. And Monty for Sharky.
I'm sorry. What am I rolling right now?
Do you want your character to be doing anything other than training over this week in jump space?
No. Just piloting.
Just training. Okay. And we already. Yes. So, anything for Urian?
He's just training with a sword.
Training with his sword, talking to his skulls.
Yes, he's actually talking to his skulls, but the reason.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he has a bunch of skulls on his ship.
You want to
This is why Urian found his own ride to the depot.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll reveal it. So so this isn't Redthane isn't the first person that he's wreaked. He's wreaked multiple people over his lifetime. And whenever he gets tired of someone being wreaked, he kills them and collects their skull as a trophy.
Okay, well, we're going to add that to the conditions of your service aboard the Connie McCore.
And then
It does remind me, the captain ordered Sven to work with the doctor on various protection from that.
But he's also talking to the skulls because he's actually trying to get better at socializing because he's not very good at it, and he knows that, so he's trying to get better.
So everyone remember, this is out-of-game knowledge right now. Your characters haven't learned in-game. They've only been given the clue of that one skull he had hanging at it around his belt.
No, he switched skulls.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So they've seen 2 skulls at this point.
Yeah. So you probably know he probably has more on board, but you're not sure how many.
All right, and April, I already know what Andrew did. So yeah. So Daniel, 2 days before the ship is going to come out of jump space, you get an internal message.
Okay, opening it now. It's from Billiam.
Do you want me to read it out loud?
Sure, yeah. That way everyone kind of knows.
All right. I love how my computer sometimes declares it's going to freeze. All right. Data slate, internal engineering dispatch to Captain Ukluna Anks from Billiam. Subject, on the Bloody Elf, fuel mods and other considerations. It didn't wait to be asked, so here it is. I've been thinking about that damn ship floating behind us. A man like Urian doesn't stay idle forever, and whatever you're planning with him, it'd be smarter to figure out whether we can make that hull useful or keep it contained. Number 1, refitting the Bloody Elf for dual Jump 1 capacity. What we would need to do: gut part of the cargo bay and weld in reinforced bladder tanks. Run new fuel lines to the jump grid. Balance mass distribution or watch the drive tear itself in half. Rewire redundant monitoring. Estimated time frame: best case, 7 days. More likely, 10 to 14 days if anything goes sideways. Personnel: myself, you won't find anyone better on J-Drive integration. George, good hands. Engineer, likes rebalancing life support. Barbie, astrogation recalibration. Maybe Krish's sappers for a hull bracing. Pros: self-sufficient scout vessel. Flexibility in the field. Cons: stuck in the depot, visible to anyone paying attention. If Urian gets restless, we're standing in a pool of fuel holding a torch. Option number 2, external fuel bladder pod. Bolt a bladder to the hull. Faster, 3 to 5 days. Obvious and vulnerable to debris or fire. Option 3, strip her down and leave her adrift. Kill power and transponders, let her drift as a ghost ship. Pick her up later, or don't. Option 4, leave him in the dark. Don't send the depot coordinates. Let him come out of jump alone. Simplest way to keep him from being our problem. Final notes: I'm not a diplomat, and I'm not a bridge officer, but I am the bastard who keeps the jump grid from spitting us out in a star. I'm telling you this because it's my job to see the cracks before anyone else falls in. My preference: Option 1, if you trust him. Option 3, if you don't. Option 4, if you're ready to end this dance. Do what you think is best, but don't say nobody warned you. Billiam.
So Urian already has the coordinates.
Oh yeah, so he's going to be jumping into that same hex along with you. But because you both jumped separately, what you'll need to do is when you get into system, you'll need to both send out signals, find each other, and then you would need to lead him to the depot that's hidden there within that parsec.
All right, I'm going to share this with Andrew and Sven. Also, what resources are we using for this plan? Are these parts that will be at the depot, or are we like cannibalizing some of our own systems to do this?
It would probably be a mix of the two, from what you're looking in this file that you sent. Like you have some spare parts. He assumes that Krish's ship is going to have some spare parts. And from the last time that you were at this depot, it has a bunch of these big fuel tanks there and random bits of debris and traps and whatnot.
What is the question? Hold on. Would using spare parts from the Ganymakor or the Misery's company impact either ship's operation noticeably?
You'd have less to use in instances of, you possibly needing it in the future.
Okay.
What about if we parked it at the depot and collected whatever parts as we needed and returned to it and then did the repairs?
Well, you'd presumably be doing the repairs there anyway, so you'd be kind of parked there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if we find something that we need that we don't want to strip off of a ship, we leave it there, we jump off to buy whatever parts we need, and then jump back with them.
Well, we're
part of option 3 is to come back for it later or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so another mechanics question I have. So this will allow Urian's ship to keep up with us when we're jumping. It wouldn't?
It'll allow him to make... No, because he's still going to be a jump 1, but he can make 2 jumps. So he can jump 2 parsecs in twice the time it takes us to jump 2 parsecs. But he can jump 2 parsecs. It'll get him out of this area. It'll allow him to jump as far as we can. It'll just take him twice as long because he's still a jump 1 ship.
I don't see the upside of this.
Well, the upside of this is that it allows him to jump. It would allow him to... Let me pull the map up.
In this last case, it would have been allowing him to jump in and jump back out. That was part of our frustration last week, was we didn't know what to do with this ship that had no fuel.
In that case, yes, it would. But, no, it would increase his... Like, for example, if we're entering that depot hex, then he would be able to jump from the depot hex to the blank hex next to it, and then to Borite, where right now he's got no way to jump to Borite because he can't jump to an empty thing. It would help him get his ship back to Drinax.
Oh, without a courier.
Without a courier. It would still not make it easy for us to keep up with it, but he can basically wing his way back to Drinax while we're taking the long way around to go back to Torpal and Clark and finish our business there, and then in roughly about the same amount of time, he'll be able to rendezvous with us at Drinax.
Okay.
And then what happens to his ship once we get back to Drinax is he's still never going to be able to keep up with us, but it would allow him to get his ship to Drinax without a courier where it could be stored.
So the question then is, do we spend the resources for a courier? Because Urian's cash poor, if I understand it correctly.
We'd still have to get him to Borite, or we'd have to send a courier to the depot hex.
Is that bad?
Well, I mean, it just means we have to tell somebody else where the depot hex is.
Okay.
It is a secret pirate cache, so there might be other pirates that know about it.
Yeah, we don't want to bring anyone here that we don't have to. What is that website, April, with that interactive map?
Travelermap.com.
I want to see what you guys are talking about here. I guess
It is in the chat.
actually I'm gonna bookmark this because this was really useful the other day when I was thinking about things.
Yes, I like it a lot. But so if we gave him the ability to make 2 jump ones, then he could jump from the depot to the next empty hex to Borite, to the next empty hex to Torpal, to the next empty hex to Drinax.
Okay.
That was 6 weeks of jumping.
We might end up in Drinax around the same time, probably after our stops.
Because we might actually still get there ahead of him, because he's taking twice as long to go the same amount of distance. And
Okay.
we have to make a couple of extra stops. I haven't stopped and done the math yet, but it would allow him to get to Drinax, put his ship there in our storage, and then we can figure out what we want to do with him from there.
Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing the upside of this now, and I don't have a huge problem with it as long as it doesn't create a problem for either of our ship's operations.
We might temporarily be low on spare parts until we got to Clark or Torpal, where we could trade for spare parts.
Okay. My one concern is spending 10 to 14 days as kind of sitting ducks in the middle of repairs.
Well, only one of the ships would be under repair, and that would be the Bloody Elf. The other 2 would be
right,
full
but a bunch
readiness.
of our personnel would be on his ship, though, right?
They'd be working in backspace in and around his ship. Yes, we would if we had all of our engineering staff off the Gunning McCour, and something happened, it would be up to myself and it would be up to myself and our gunnery crew to bring the ship to readiness if there were any visiting unwelcomes that show up. We could keep ourselves at a heightened state of readiness.
We'd have to,
so that
yeah.
we would be less reliant on the shifting of maneuver drive power. Unless there's anybody else on the ship that would have, unless Krish has an extra engineer to lend us again, but it might just be best to send Krish ahead. I don't know.
We should. So we can't talk to Krish about this until we're out of gem space, right?
We can't talk to anybody about this till we're out of jump space. Yes.
All right. Let's get some input from Krish. I'm leaning toward doing this, because it makes a bit of sense. Mainly I don't want a courier to show up at this depot that only so many people know about. So I think it's kind of the best way to keep that on the DL, and then also figure out a way for Urian to get a ship in. And I don't know how if he ever plans on retrofitting the ship so that he can keep up with us.
Don't even know if that's theoretically possible.
Well, I spoke with him about appealing to the king, but I imagine that whatever services the king offer would come at a pretty steep price. Not necessarily just monetary, right? Like it, the king is weird bullshit.
You owe me a favor, so there.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily sure if the king is someone you want to have too many favors outstanding. Sean, were you going to say something?
I was going to say, also, you getting there before me also means you can talk shit about Urian before he gets there. So there's also that.
We wouldn't do that.
I know.
Okay. Well, let's, I'm leaning toward yes. Let's get Krish's input after we get out of jump space, and see if he has any good suggestions on how to make this plan more efficient. But for now, order the crew to get some rest, because I think we might be pretty busy once we come out and we figure this out.
All right. Monty.
William could possibly also additionally answer any questions that you have about keeping some engineering, some ship in readiness in their absence. I want to talk to him directly.
Okay.
Before the ship exits jump space, Monty, is Sharky gonna take Billiam up on his offer?
Yes.
Okay. So.
Do you remember what the offer is?
Yes.
Okay. So you will head on over to his room. Is it going to be the next night?
The very following night.
Giggity?
Oh yeah. Also, real quick before we move on, can someone remember which of these hexes we're going to? Is it the one directly adjacent to Palindrome?
Just south of.
So okay.
At least that was my understanding.
Well, yeah, because I guess he wouldn't be able to jump much further than that anyway, would he?
Right.
Yeah, he's a jump one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, heading to his door, it's closed when you arrive. When you knock on it, you'll hear him say, "Come on in."
Okay, I enter.
The door slides open with a gentle hiss. As you kind of pause on the threshold, your ears flick forward, your nose twitches, and inside it smells alive. You look inside, and you can see that the lights are tinged with green and violet. And you step in, the air suddenly becomes humid, laced with scents of soil, flowers, and something sharp and citrusy that you can't place. Stepping in, your boots land on a graded walkway between what look like waist-high planters. Billiam, you can see, is crouched near the back wall, gloved hands adjusting a tiny set of nozzles, feeding mist into one of the glass compartments. The entire room is just covered with different plants and foliage, just set up with different rigging. He looks up at you, and his eyes narrow. Close the hatch behind you. You'll let the dry air in.
Oh, sorry. He closes the hatch.
Space barn?
No worries. He straightens up and he's dusting the soil from his hands.
Does the captain know you got so much dirt in here?
Well, the captain's never been in here. Actually, previous captain wasn't either. It's something I've done. You know, I bring back something from every rock that we go to. Some folk hold credits or trophies. I like things that grow.
You got anything dangerous in here? Sharky kind of shrinks in on himself, getting to the most center of the room as possible.
Yeah, so stepping in deeper, it does take some effort not to brush any of the leaves. Everywhere that you look, there are plants, some with curling red fronds, others with broad blue leaves that glisten as though wet. You can see pale bulbs pulsing faintly under one shelf, breathing in a rhythm you can almost hear. And then in the far corner, you can spot one weird, tall, thin sapling. The only plant that seems entirely still amongst all of the airflow and movement in the room. Billiam says, "Well, there are some you wouldn't want to eat, but I keep them all quite well."
Well, anyway, Billiam, I was thinking about your offer, and well, I haven't been able to sleep since, all of that mind madness went on. So here's my list. Sharky hands over a list, and all that's written on it is 3 gallons of pygmy elephant milk.
Billiam laughs and steps over carefully to a tray in the corner, and he picks up a small leaf-wrapped bundle, and he holds it out to you. "Here, chew this if you want. It grows on a moon called Halka's Drift. Calms the nerves, sharpens focus. Tastes like rancid mint, but it works."
Sharky was never raised to be rude, so thank you. This is not what I asked for at all, but I'm going to use it and think of this moment kindly. And then he puts it, I don't know, stuffs it in his shirt.
He looks at you and narrows his eyes. "Have you been sleeping?"
No, not at all. Hence the 3 gallons of pygmy elephant milk. I always used to put me to sleep back on the farm.
He nods. I haven't heard of it myself, but it's not really a plant, and I'm not really an animals sort of guy. But he reaches down for another plant. This one is low and bushy, with soft lilac-looking leaves, and he gently pinches off a sprig. "This one here is for sleep if you want it. You don't have to take it if you don't want. Just, I want you to know, you're welcome here anytime you need it. Just put it in some hot water, let it steep for 8 minutes, and not more than 12 minutes, at least 8 to 12 minutes, and then just drink it, and you should be able to sleep pretty well. And it'll also it'll be a sleep where you don't have any dreams, especially of the bad variety."
Oh, okay. Great. 8 and 12 minutes. Got it.
No more than 12 minutes.
And
I learned that the hard way. And he laughs.
Sharky also laughs, but he doesn't know why he's laughing.
All right. Well, welcome to the crew, pup. I'm glad that you survived that first mission.
Thanks a billion, Milliam. And Sharky turns around and leaves.
Okay.
You just call Billiam Milliam?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, so at this point, you've all done what you were going to do in jump space, and your ships emerge back into real space. And you are in between stars right now. In the empty hex. I imagine all of the bridge crew is up there on the bridge.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
First step would be
Figure out where we are.
Yep. Sensors, followed by comms.
Who's our sensors guy?
Urian.
Sorry,
Oh, fuck.
Sorry. Since I wasn't really doing anything, I was kind of watching a baseball game, like thing. Sorry.
But Urian can do his own sensors and his own comms.
I think I'm our backup sensors guy, if I remember correctly now. What's
Okay.
my sensors role, Richard?
+1, right?
This one.
I think it is play. I think you might be right because I think Andrews is just 2d6.
6. Well, this is usually based off intellect, and you don't have a bonus to intellect. So it would be just 2d6 for you and 2d6 plus 1 for Andrew. So Andrew is slightly better.
Why do I remember this being reversed the last time?
I don't know.
I think it was something edgy.
It was what?
Because sometimes your education bonus comes into effect, which is +2. Sometimes it's based off of intellect. Depends on the context.
Yeah, kind of like how in D&D, for intimidation, you can either use strength to intimidate someone or
Okay.
persuasion.
So your initial sensors isn't picking up anything. You're like deep in the void right now. Urian can make his roll.
2d6 +4, right?
2, 3. 2d6 plus 5.
Oh, nice.
Because you got that bonus from all those fancy computers.
Ooh, 8.
I do it for Chris's ship. Oh no, that I did that wrong. Oh damn. Okay. Oh, actually, Chris's ship is even going to detect your ship. In that case, with your 8 for Urian, you think you see some comm shadow of some vehicles in the distance. Oh! But before you're able to do anything, Krish's ship manages to send you both laser-guided telemetry towards his ship. And you hear him over the comms saying, welcome back to real space, Captain and Mr. Urian. Just follow the signal here back to me, and I'll lead us to the depot.
Okay, I'll follow him.
Krish, your personnel are more than eager to return to your ship. If you'd like to rendezvous with us there first and make that transfer.
Yeah, and that's also going to be that'll be a thing that after today, our general policy will be everyone rendezvous on the Gani McCour's position.
Okay, so it'll take.
Did that go through?
Urian will arrive first.
You're a little quiet. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, because I thought my mic was up. I didn't know if you heard me.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet.
Okay.
Krish said it's like, oh we'll get her back home soon once you arrive. We're gonna hold position. So it'll take the Ganymakor 7 hours to get there, and it's going to take Urian's ship 6. So Urian, you're going to get there an hour before the Ganymakor.
Okay.
All right, Sharky, set a course. Or I guess.
Yeah. So
Aye, Captain.
Yeah, you got that clear signal bringing you in, and you know what? Might as well. Urian, you can roll for piloting, so that can be. So that's 1. That negates that. So that's going to be 2d6 plus 2.
Okay. 9.
Okay, yeah. So you're going to be able to easily follow the signal. There's nothing in your way. You're here, like in the void of space in between star systems. So Urian, you arrive first. You can see Misery's company hanging there in the void.
Okay. He's gonna make his way over to Misery's company.
Okay, so you're gonna request permission to dock with it?
No, he's just gonna like look outside the viewport and just wave it all over them.
Okay. And an hour later, the Ganymakor arrives. You can actually notice that as the Ganymakor arrives, Urian, Misery's company did not extend its docking ring to you, but once the Ganymakor arrives, it extends its docking ring towards the Ganymakor.
Ah, must not have seen me. Weird.
It is a stealth ship.
But yeah, it docks, and the explosives expert, she kind of doesn't bother to say goodbye. She just kind of hightails it back into Misery's company.
Ah, darn, I was hoping to find her to have another talk with her.
With her big, just duffel bag of explosives.
Grenades.
I almost might. I'm honestly tempted since she just kind of listens to Urian. He's gonna actually make a request to the captain that lady stays on the goddamn course so he can talk to her, because like he feels like she's just kind of like a good like listener, I guess, if that makes sense.
That request will
Sean,
be denied by me and probably also Crash.
Okay.
Don, you making characters that are HR nightmares.
Also, I'll have Andrew and Sven in the captain's quarters, and if Krish would like to come and hang out for a second, that'd be great.
Yep, Krish will head on over, and he'll kind of nod to you as you enter. You can see as he comes in, he now has like a couple of new bandoliers that he is wearing, and this like tattered red and blue cape.
Krish, you're looking very sharp, sir.
Thank you, Admiral. Thank you. I need to look the part of a captain, otherwise they won't respect you.
Well, first I want to tell you that the crew that you reassigned to the Ganymakor conducted themselves very well, and you should be proud of them.
Oh well, I'll give her an extra draw of grog then.
She seems well. Maybe look around your ship and make sure there aren't just random explosives lying around.
Yes. Well, yeah, she was a little quiet. I noticed when I said hello and she entered.
Well, she had a run-in with, with our newest acquaintance, and it's got us kind of all reconsidering our general lives.
Reconsidering. Sorry.
He looks around and says, "Yeah, been meaning to talk about that with you, Admiral. You know how we intercepted that video of what he did in the engineering compartment?
Yes.
Well, it's created a little bit of an undercurrent on my ship.
an undercurrent of unease, I assume.
Largely, yes. Yes, Admiral.
Yeah, he's Urian has a lot of trust to make up with this crew as well.
Yes, well, from my experience with any pirate crew that runs around with someone of let's just say Urian's temperament, generally speaking, they should keep them on a short leash. Preferably a leash with explosives that can be activated with a remote.
Well, we do have a contingency, and we are the leash is being devised. I'll just say that we're proceeding with caution.
Well, Admiral, if you ever need the assistance, we have my explosive experts. If you want to make that that explosive collar to be a quite literal affair.
I appreciate the offer. Thank you. I'm gonna. What?
You go first.
I'm gonna pass the report from George over to him with the
Billiam.
or Billiam, yeah. And say, speaking of Urian, we're trying to figure out what to do with his ship, because we either just leave it here and have a courier come and get it, which is a problem because I don't think we want anyone to know where this depot is. Or we make some modifications to his ship so that he has the jump capacity that he needs to get back to Drinax, where he would rendezvous with us. So take a look through the plan, and tell me what your thoughts are.
Well, Admiral, I'm not the only one that knows about this depot. I would probably say quite a few pirates from Thieves and elsewhere know about this location, though probably not about all the various different booby traps and whatnot. But if we left it here, there could be a good chance someone just takes it for salvage.
I imagine Urian probably wouldn't love that idea.
The plan, from what I see here, seems to be sensible. From what you told me before, we are flying under our own flag at the moment, but eventually under the flag of Drinax itself, correct?
Yeah.
Perhaps we might curry favor with the local authorities if we make these adjustments and donate it to the cause.
Donate it to Drinax?
Perhaps it might garner us some goodwill, or perhaps they might even be willing to pay us credits.
So your idea is to sell Urian ship?
Basically, yes. I mean, you could even call it part of his punishment for going off book. He loses that shiny ship of his.
Let's entertain for a second that we do the modifications for his ship. My main concern is that we would be parked here for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Mm-hmm. And there is a chance there might be more traffic coming through system. That is true, Admiral.
Right. So this would require some personnel from our ship to make it happen, like our engineer and our like our astrogator. And what I'm worried about is that we won't be at peak combat readiness. So I wonder maybe if you have some engineering staff that you could recommend to help on this too. That way we share the load a little bit more, and both of the ships can react faster if we get into a problem.
Well, Admiral, I could have my ship be ready on standby to protect your ship and the others while this is happening. That could be something that we can do.
That might be the fairer option. And if things get too hairy for the Misery's company, we would be able to make do with our present crew in a pinch.
Okay.
And I will repeat what I've had some of my own engineers tell me in the past. Sometimes too many cooks doesn't really help the meal.
Yeah, and I can imagine that George would love a bunch of people hanging around. Okay, so let's make the plan right now. We'll proceed with the alterations to Urian's ship. We'll have both ships at as ready as they can be to deal with a fight, and then I'll also ask George to get the alterations done as quickly as possible.
Yes, it looks like pretty much all of your engineers are going to be in on this situation. So let me know if, like it says here on your notes, if you need any of my people. Well, we'll see what they manage to scrounge up and find.
Can you spare an engineer for the Gundam Corps?
At the moment, due to the whole, the situation that occurred with me and the others of mutiny, we're kind of running a little bare bones on our engineering department.
Did you have to kill somebody?
Let's just say
Krish?
somebody had to have a little bit of persuasion.
All right. Okay.
And they're still recovering.
All right. Well, then I guess your orders will be to protect the flagship while we're doing repairs or alterations, and we'll just try to get this over as quickly as we can.
Krish nods and he stands up and says, "Yeah, it was unfortunate, but since I was in such a bad position recently, I really was not in the position to let something slide."
I understand.
Wow,
It's your ship, and I have no interest in interfering how you run your ship.
All right, thank you, Admiral. My estimate from my ship is it will take us about 11 hours to get from the depot from this position.
Okay. 11 hours. I think I want to have a conversation with Urian before we start repair or alterations on his ship, and that conversation is going to happen on his ship. And Sven, I imagine you'll probably want to come with.
Yeah.
All right. So, Krish, lead the way. Let's get to the depot, and then we'll go from there.
Hey, Richard.
Yes.
Can Urian teleport through space?
I mean, yes, as long as it's within that, like, what is it? Is it 5 kilometers or like 10 kilometers, something like that?
5 kilometers we established last time.
You can teleport 5 kilometers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
As a gag, I almost wanted to, like, while you guys were talking, you're like, yeah, sell his ship. I wanted to teleport into the conversation, like, oh, sell whose ship?
I mean, honestly, if you spend the points for life detection to pinpoint where they are, you can then roll for teleportation and just teleport right into the captain's chamber. You'll just know that Krish and the captain. Well, you'll know that Krish, Ukluna, Andrew, and Sven are in there. So if you want to roll for me, life detection, you can do it now.
You should maybe read the room, Sean.
Yeah, no, I know.
Or at least Urian should read the room.
Well, specifically, Urian has an issue with reading the room, so I'm fine with him doing this.
No, I'm not gonna do it because, like, it's not my time, if that makes sense. As a player, it's their time. But I just wanted to get, like, a confirmation that he can do it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So that if he does get sucked, like, for example, if he does get, like, airlocked, he can just teleport back into the ship.
Yeah. As long as he knows where he's going to, yes, he could conceivably just teleport himself back. And this might be something Ukluna isn't aware of yet.
Okay. All right. I guess I just wanted the confirmation. Sorry for interrupting.
Sure. So Daniel, are you sending Ukluna like a signal for him to dock his ship to the Gani Makor?
After we get to the depot, I think.
Okay.
That way we don't.
So-
Let's get everyone to where we're supposed to be, and then we'll have this conversation.
So the trip to the depot is pretty uneventful. It takes another 11 hours, so basically you guys have had another day added to this. At this point, you all will probably be, I don't know, how do you want this? Like, some of your crew might actually want to be asleep by the time that you're at this point. Because otherwise, it's been roughly 18 hours since they came out of jump space.
Yeah, they let him get some sleep, and I'll talk to I'll talk to Urian.
Okay, so you arrive in position. I imagine that you are telling Sharky as you arrive in position that he is dismissed from the bridge to go to sleep.
Makes me really nervous, actually, now that you're asking it.
Is there anything else you need, Captain?
No, it's that's right. We can always raise the alarm if there's a problem. And then Andrew, you'll be in command of the Gani Makor. Sven and I are gonna.
Are you gonna give Sharky his last command to dock with Urian ship, the Bloody Elf?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess. Couldn't he dock with us? Not that it matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it kind of takes both ships to do it, right?
One of us can be stationary and he can come head up.
Yeah, I mean, you could even order him to just prepare the ship for the Bloody Elf docking with you.
Yeah, let's do that. Whatever we need to do to make it happen.
So Monty,
beep, boop.
Is Sharky at all nervous upon hearing this? Is he suddenly starting to chew on some leaves that he was given?
Does he need to change his pants again?
You just pull a fistful of plant matter out of your jacket and start chewing on it.
No, he's so tired at this point because he hasn't been sleeping that he just hears a command, dock with the ship, and then you get to go to sleep. And he does the thing. I got an 8. And he's going to use that leaf.
He's got brew himself some tea.
Yeah.
That wouldn't leave him impaired if we ran into a problem, would it?
Well, no, he's going to follow instructions. It was 12 and 8 minutes brewing time.
Between 8 to 12 minutes.
Sharky's going to drink all that tea and be like, I don't feel anything. I have to do it again.
He's going to drink all of that tea. He's like, I don't feel anything. And then collapse on his bedroom floor.
Also, I guess,
Stop breathing.
Would it be
Is he gonna
easy?
be back in his own room, or is Sven going to wander in there finding him on the floor?
Well, I think Sven is being called to miss some sleep and be involved in
Yeah, sorry,
this
man.
document.
You're my bodyguard. It wouldn't make much of a difference from either of us if Urian wanted to kill us, but
Right.
Is Andrew heading to bed?
I guess she has the con, so she was probably napping on the way in preparation for that.
Okay. So Vim will come up to the bridge as well and sit in your old chair as you're going to Akluna's chair.
I'm so happy
He-
for
he
Vim.
He looks at Ukluna and just he gives you a sharp salute and says, "Good luck, sir. I believe in you, sir."
Carry on, Vim. You're doing great.
Yes, sir. We will be conducting scans every 10 minutes, sir.
Wait, what is Vim's sensor role?
No, I don't even know what he does.
Plus 10, I think.
I know he's decent with computers and
The man took a bullet for me. So, like, We really should ask him what he's good at. I don't know. Vim has been a bit of a mystery.
He'll try it. He'll try anything, anytime.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I send a communication to Urian that the captain of the Gynemakor will be boarding his ship, so be ready.
Okay, I'm gonna send back a saluting emoji.
And I guess I'll make my way to the airlock with Sven.
So yeah, you successfully docked, and you head over to Urian's spotless, gleaming ship.
In fact, this is what's gonna happen. Urian is gonna exit out of his room, like he's gonna kind of like keep an eye out for them, and he's gonna exit out of his room, and he's gonna be out of his armor, and he's gonna meet them there.
Okay, so you meet him in the hallway. He's just in his jumpsuit instead of his armor.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be like, "Oh, hey, Captain."
I'm gonna step aboard, and then take a look around at the part of the ship that I can see right now, and say, "Wow, this is a really nice ship."
Yeah, it is. I think you're gonna be happy to have it in your fleet.
Yeah, we have some things we got to talk about.
Oh, sure. What is
that issue is complicated. We have a couple of complicated issues. Do you have a good place for us to talk that isn't in the hallway?
Yeah. Oh yeah, my room.
Okay.
Oh God.
So you're gonna
Oh, no.
you're gonna step into his room, and you can.
Is this the room that you've been very, very careful to tell people to stay out of?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You know that I'm following along, right?
Yeah,
Here's the thing,
you better be right behind me, motherfucker.
Here's the thing: it's a trust thing, right? So he's like, okay, you know, I'm gonna let them in my room to show them trust. That's
All
why
right.
he's out of his suit.
Okay.
So you're gonna come into his room, and this is what you're gonna immediately see. You're gonna see like a black cover, probably like a black metal cover, that doesn't have a lock on it. You're gonna see like a black, like human-sized cage that has like blood, like dried blood on it. And then you're gonna see a bed and like a computer and stuff, and you're gonna see his suit in this room.
I'm gonna raise a brow at the.
Sorry, Sean. The shelves. Wouldn't he see the shelves as well that you told me about?
Oh yes, sorry, yes, the shelves.
Okay.
Are,
What about the shelves?
yeah, he has. How many did you say? Like 30 or 40?
Of what?
30 or 40 of the skulls?
Oh yeah. On display,
Okay, so,
named.
Yeah, so he has shelves lining the room with the skulls looking outward towards you as you enter the room, and you could see that there's little plaques underneath each skull with dates and names.
Can he? Can I have wired it so that the skulls follow them around the room? Like just like not float, but like, you know, they just kind of like move like sensors and stuff.
Yeah, no, yeah. You basically put like little moving bases to them that are connected. Yeah, you can have that. So they literally will turn to look at you guys as you enter the room.
What is Sven's reaction, by the way, to entering?
Well, just seeing the cage, I think, yeah, that's got to be one hell of a bizarre date. And then watching the skulls move, that does not help my trust factor at all.
And then up above the door, you're gonna see in Christmas lights that says "Live, Laugh, Love."
Jesus. Akluna. Akluna's gonna take a small lap around the space and look at the skulls and keep his expression pretty neutral.
So
in Akluna's head, what's going on right now?
Honestly, I'm not learning anything new about Urian. I don't think I already knew. So this is more or less. I don't know. I don't feel like Eklund has seen anything that would really shock him based on what he knows about Urian. I mean, he personally thinks it's a little gratuitous to have so many skulls and trophies, but you know, there's a when thinking about this. Oh, I'll probably just roll this into conversation actually.
Okay.
So I'll take a small lap around, and then I'll turn to Urian to Urian and say, shall we sit down?
Sure. I'll sit on my bed and I'll pat next to the bed for him to come sit down.
You don't have like a sofa or anything in here? I'll stand. It's fine. I'll stand.
Can I have a sofa, I guess?
Actually, from what you described to me before, yeah, your bed would really be the only other bit of furniture rather than the cage, because Urian doesn't really generally care about the comfort of anyone else that's in this room.
That's
so
fine.
This is, I guess, kind of novel.
Yeah,
Sorry for not having more.
No. It's fine. I can stand.
Sven is gonna stand no more than about half a meter away.
Urian, what do you know about game theory?
I know it was a very old docu-series about these things called video games.
Oh, I think we might be talking about something entirely different. There's an old philosophy about game theory, specifically as it relates to groups of people that are trying to cooperate. And what we found is that game theory suggests that when two groups of people are trying to cooperate, if one side does something wrong, in the end, it is generally better for both sides to forgive twice. So if you have two groups of people, one side fucks up, the other side should forgive, and then if that side fucks up again, then you should forgive a second time. Are you following me so far?
Like turn the other cheek, right?
A little bit, but it's more based on science and not so much religion. But I think it kind of feels like you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you know how many which forgiveness we're on?
I'm gonna say we're on number 2.
We're on number 2.
Okay.
So I wanted to have a chat with you on your ship, so that you were a little more comfortable. And I know our last meeting was a little heated. And I want to tell you off the bat, I'm interested in having you on the crew. And I know that we come from different civilizations and we have different ways of living. I had a briefing a couple of weeks ago. We have an engineer on our ship. His name Engineer. He's a little bug guy, and he crawled right into my lap in the middle of this briefing. I looked down and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is this bug doing just sitting in my lap? But to him, that's just how he is. And I'm trying to figure out how much of this, I'm going to gesture to your skulls, is just how you are. So if you want to be a member of the crew in any capacity, whether it's on your ship or on the Ganymakor, we're going to need to agree on some conditions for your service.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through a couple of these. By the way, if you disagree with any of these, it's fine. I would be disappointed, but we go our separate ways. No hard feelings, and it's not a big deal. And I wish you the best. The first thing is that the Ganymakor and the fleet runs on a strict chain of command. A good example of this is that our operation in Palindrome was to gather intelligence from Redthane. That was our primary goal. Our secondary goal was to capture him for bounty. We barely achieved the bounty part of that, to say nothing of the absolute blunder that was the loss of intelligence. I have engineer working on sifting through data right now. I'm not really sure what we'll be able to get from that encounter, if anything. But my bridge crew and I sat down and we planned meticulously to make sure that we got that intelligence. And while you did a fantastic job of neutralizing the enemy, that intelligence could be gone forever. And so what I'm saying here is that the first condition here is that you follow commands and that you follow our plans when we set them, because ordinarily we have goals that you might not know about, and that's our business, and you need to be devoted to making sure that happens.
Gotcha.
Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
The other thing, this suit that you have scares the shit out of me. And I'm a spy, and I've seen some crazy shit. And I'm not exactly sure what to think about it. However, I do know that it's kind of essential for a lot of the operations that you do, like aboard your ship. And I imagine that it would help you do your job better as a member of my crew. The problem is that the crew is also really freaked out about it. So we're going to have to think, at least in the short term, for a while, until you've kind of gained the crew's trust. While you're on the ship, the suit needs to be in our armory, which will be protected. No one will be allowed in there. No one will mess with it. And you only use it with permission. I know that's inconvenient, and you're going to have to run down there every time you need it. But for now, that's the best that I can do.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, we have a brand new policy about psionics as it relates to the crew, which is that there is no tolerance whatsoever for psionics against myself or the crew of both the Gani McCourt or in any of the ship in the fleet. And I'll tell you plainly that if I find out that you use psionics on anyone, if I can find a way to kill you, I will.
Does that include no teleporting between ships?
No. So when I mean zero tolerance for psionics against the crew, I mean taking away their free will, making them think thoughts that aren't their own, trying to control them. I'm more concerned about that. Why? Can you teleport?
Yeah, that's how I got into the ship down on the planet. That's why you saw me one time and then you didn't see me till I was inside the ship.
Well, that actually makes a lot more sense now. That kind of brings me to my next thing, is that it's going to take a while for the crew to see this, but your abilities are absolutely an asset for us, and we need to treat them. For example, Sven here has this giant fucking gun, right? That's kind of his thing. He runs around and he shoots things. But he doesn't just shoot whatever he wants, right? It's usually he saves the shooting for when he's ordered to, or when it will protect the crew. And we need to approach your powers the same way, where like these powers can be used to protect the crew and to complete our missions, but you need to think about it as a weapon, something that you think a lot about before using, and something you have orders to use. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
And then
yeah,
can I be honest with you for a second, Captain?
Sure.
He's gonna kind of gesture to everything. Like he's gonna kind of like gesture to like the skulls, his suit, the cage, and he's not gonna reveal a lot of his backstory, but he is gonna say like a lot of this stuff is all stuff I've ever known, and like stuff I was kind of forced to do. He says, and he also says, but I don't know. I'd like to maybe learn something else. Maybe.
It's good that you mentioned that because that's kind of leading me into my next thing. I certainly understand that being forced to do something like that probably had an incredible impact on your psyche, but I'm not a doctor and I can't help you with that. Like that sucks. I'm sorry that happened, but I don't know even how to help you with that. So I think it would be really good for you at an appointed time to spend some time with our doctor. He's a fantastic physician and he's a very easy person to talk to, and I think he could help you out a lot.
He's a Donnie though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he might not like me.
Well, I can tell you he doesn't like you, but I mean he has an oath to do his job, and especially if it's an order that comes from the captain, he's not gonna give you a treatment that he knows is incorrect or wrong or bad. This might be a good opportunity for you to make some inroads with someone that you know is going to be difficult to persuade to like you.
Gotcha. Oh, actually, speaking, there is a good listener. I think we're friends now. She's that one lady who's missing some fingers.
Oh, the demolitions expert.
Yeah, could you set up a meeting? I don't know. She's just a good listener. I was hoping to talk to her again.
Let's revisit it after, because there's still a lot of shit we need to figure out. Let's figure out the important shit, and then the friendships that you're making, we'll revisit that later.
Okay. Also, if you want, I could try to restore Redthane's mind. I might be able to maybe not bring him back to who he was, but maybe bring him back somewhat.
Akluna is going to stare at Urian for a solid 4 or 5 seconds, and then say, "Is that actually possible?"
I don't know, Richard. Okay. Is it possible?
That 4 or 5 seconds, you're going to hear Sven grumbling.
Okay, so you would know from everything that happened, it would be like putting lipstick on a pig. You could probably make this shell of a man kind of comically behave like a space pirate, but it's not going to be Redthane. And you did such a good job breaking this guy into Reek that Reek might kind of just burst out of this just mimicry of what you think a space pirate is. It won't really contain anything of Redthane.
Okay, gotcha.
And no intelligence from him either.
Very unlikely.
Okay.
From Urian's perspective, but you can continue talking to Ukluna as if you could restore him, because Ukluna never really knew the original Redthane.
I was like Urian's never restored anyone before, so this would be the first time he'd ever try it.
It would be the first time he ever really tried.
I wouldn't be against it, but the only way it happens is if the doctor signs off on it, because the Redthane's in his care now. He is so irreversibly fucked that a man he's never met is now in charge of his entire life.
I guess I didn't really. Oh, sorry.
Good.
I guess I didn't really think. I guess thought he's a pirate. He deserves it. I guess I didn't really think about.
No one deserves what you did to him. And I maybe this is because of what you were telling me earlier about being forced to do things you didn't want to do. Maybe it's what we were talking about earlier about how different cultures are different, and maybe this is just how you are. But what you did to him is so deeply despicable.
Yeah. Also, sorry to interrupt, but I will say this. Sean, can you roll me a deception?
Oh, sure. What's my deception?
This will be 2d6 plus 4.
8.
And then I think before we decided that you can use a similar skill to try to detect it. So this would be 2d6 plus 3 for Ukluna.
Oh, 13, nice. What am I deceiving? Just out of curiosity.
That you were forced to do this sort of shit.
Oh, I thought I was.
No.
Oh, I guess okay.
This was you going off mission completely.
No, I don't think he meant the Redthane thing he was forced to do. I think what he said was that the skulls and the shit from his past.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. The skulls is all him.
Oh.
It's not what Darien agents do at all normally.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like that's not what you understood was the truth. So maybe we just retcon that.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I guess.
So because Sean, remember how we discussed, how Urian even treated his previous handlers?
Kind of. I guess this doesn't sound weird, but I guess it's kind of like, when I do a backstory type thing, it's kind of like a Star Wars type thing. It's not always like
from a certain point of view.
Yeah, or it's not
from
always
a certain point of view. Okay, so I would just say from that role for Ukluna, you do detect something off about Urian, but considering everything that's happened and his whole personality, it all kind of seems off anyway.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Richard. I wasn't trying to
No worries. I was keeping it going until I kind of felt like I had to interject a little bit.
No, I gotcha. I understand. I just meant I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
because there is a chance later on they might meet other Darien agents and Darien forces. So this might be a time that Ukluna would reference, what was said at this meeting and be like, wait a second, they're not like this at all.
Gotcha.
By the way, are you wanted anywhere? Are people going to be chasing us to find you?
So this is truthful. He's just gonna be like, not that I can think of, at least not that anyone who can remember.
Who can remember?
Okay. So back to our discussion about what you did to Redthane. That's going to be another condition I have to set. Is that you can't do that anymore. Not through the official representation of the ship or the crew. I can't even imagine, even if someone was in danger, I can't imagine you doing that to the necessity of you needed to do something that obscene to save them. So let's not have any more reeks. That's a thing we're not, let's not do that anymore.
Okay. He's going to glance at the skulls and he's be like, okay.
This is an impressive collection of skulls. I'm not sure you have room for many more anyway.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I have been kind of.
As he says that, Urian, you look over to where you had made room for a few more skulls.
Just gonna step in front of it and hide it.
Remember, you don't have to break a man's very psyche to kill them and take their skulls.
Yeah, that's true.
Just one more thing too. I can't have you in or around the med bay without express permission.
Oh, because of the doctor?
Yeah. It's a precaution we have to take when you're down there for your sessions with him or wherever he wants to do the sessions. That's fine, but otherwise that area is going to be off limits to you.
Can I ask a question, Captain?
Sure.
So how long until you trust me till none of these precautions?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I imagine it'll be a little bit like pornography. We'll know it when we know.
Okay.
So the other issue, you have an extraordinary ship, and it would be of great use to us if it wasn't so fucking slow.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
I mean, it is what it is. And I know I just laid a bunch of conditions on you, but I also want to show a little bit of good faith that I am trying to make it so that you hold on to your ship. Because we came pretty close to just deserting it in Palindrome. And up until a few days ago, I thought we were going to have to leave it here, like cloaked or disguised or something. A member of my crew gave me a plan that would allow us to retrofit your ship. Basically, what would happen is that your ship would be able to hold more fuel.
Nice.
Yeah, so that you would be able to get to your next refuel in general without running out of fuel. That would require us to stay here, maybe up to 2 weeks to do the retrofit. There are resources and spare parts that we can spare that I'm willing to commit to doing it. And what would happen is that if you agreed to these terms and being on the crew and earning the crew's trust back is something you're interested in, you would actually leave separately from us and meet us in Drinax. That way we could park your ship. And then if you wanted to talk to the king or whatever, or make some money to go back and retrofit your ship so that it could keep up with us, that's, we'll be able to do that. Otherwise, we hold it in Drinax where we know it'll be safe. It'll still be yours, and then we can come back whenever and make the necessary arrangements to have it, retrofitted further.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so what we'll do then, I'll get back. We'll start getting this lined up, and we'll get the work started, and then jumping out of here, we'll part ways until we meet in Drinax.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you. I hope you decide. To try to be a part of the crew. But if you don't, I understand, and I wish you I suppose an exciting and very dangerous voyage to you.
No, I want to be part of the crew. It's kind of nice finding something stable.
Okay, well, you've got a lot of work ahead of you to convince some folks. You scared a lot of people, so just don't. I wouldn't be disheartened if it takes you a while to win people over.
Could we have a meet and greet one of these days?
Yeah, let's talk about it when we meet up at Drinax.
Okay. And
yeah.
Then he's gonna approach you and hug you because he doesn't understand the concept of shaking hands and stuff like that.
I will. When you do that, I will make eye contact with Sven with a raised eyebrow, and then I'll pat you on the back.
This is what people do when they trust each other, right?
Not necessarily. No, but I appreciate the effort.
And then he's gonna hug you too, Sven.
Oh boy. Pat him on the back a little bit.
All right. Well, I will leave you to your ship, Urian, and I'll see you in Drinax.
Do you want me to put my armor in the armory right now?
No. I mean, while you're on your ship, it's your okay. The armor thing. That's only when you're aboard the Ganymakor.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you not to wear your suit on your own ship.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, good talk.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, Sven, shall we?
Yep.
Just something that might occur to Aquuna. You might want to mention to him that he will have company shortly if they're going to be doing these changes to his ship.
It just occurred to me, Urian, that you might have company soon because of the repairs they're going to do on your ship.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll hide my skulls.
Or just maybe close your bedroom so no one sees them. Yeah.
That's true. Sure.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and see you later.
Yeah. See ya.
An exercise while the crew is over here on your ship doing repairs. Be polite, but don't try to push. Don't try to get too close. They're nervous enough.
Give them some time, is what he's saying.
Right.
No, I got you. Don't try and force anything. I got you.
I've also decided, by the way, that Urian is going to be 7 of 9 to Akluna's Janeway.
Mm.
It
So he's gonna steal a potential love interest from you.
Found the hot one. Is what I'm hearing here.
Wait, does that happen? Oh, I guess she fucks Chakotay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she does. I don't know. I don't know if she'd ever actually fuck Chakotay. She's got too much Starfleet regulation in her.
All right. Well.
You're my project, Urian, is what I'm saying. I'm gonna try to foster your humanity a little bit.
Nice.
All right. So the first day is going to pass. The engineers are going to start their work. I'm going to start rolling on my table here for events that might occur.
Great.
So we are keeping weapons at least partially charged and ready, right?
Yes.
And probably look at our power allocation models here.
Also, you won't be able to be training during this time because, well,
we'll
you're
need to
gonna
be
be
at stations, right?
Stations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my station near the airlock because if anything shows up, we're going to have to do fast recovery of people.
Who's on sensors for this first day's shift? I need the person on sensors for day shift and night shift.
I can run sensors for my ship.
I was about to say, can we coordinate with Urian to do sensors?
Well, Urian will be doing sensors only on one of those shifts, a day shift or a night shift, because he will.
But he'll be able to coordinate with us though. We can use him to.
Okay, so you want him running?
I'm asking. That was a question. That is possible.
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
You could basically have him do night shift and your shift do day shift.
Well, let's have is the Misery's Company their sensor guy? He probably has a better role than I do, right? Or than Andrew does.
So that's a good question about Misery's Company. When you all made the decision to do the changes to the Bloody Elf, he transferred over his sapper in the form of that explosives expert to the Gunny McCore under protest, her protest.
Oh.
And you saw them start to make their own changes to their ship. You saw that they had actually taken out some sort of special material with people in vac suits and started to extend it around their entire ship until their ship was almost completely cocooned. And their heat signature on your sensors went to almost nothing. And then they set their ship almost adrift, like a lot of the other flotsam.
Okay.
Are out here.
I think I know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So the person he sent over here is a sensors person.
No, the person he sent over is the one requested in Billiam's plans. Just
Oh,
in case
right.
to make full modification.
I gotcha. Okay. So what you're saying is they can't do sensors, probably, I bet.
No, they can do some of their own sensors, but when you contact them, they say they're going to be trying to mostly just use passive systems. They don't want to light up their vessel as much. If they need to utilize their vessel, they want it to be as much of a surprise as possible that they're there.
Okay. Well, our best bet is probably to use Andrew then for the day shift.
Okay. So, April, if you could roll for sensors, 2d6 plus 1 for the day shift.
1 moment. Five.
Okay. So everything looks quiet today so far. Heading into night shift, it can be Urian's turn. Urian, you have noticed as, there's been a lot more noise, activity, and bad smells in your ship that you're used to that might be kind of annoying you.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if you've mostly been sticking to your own room or the bridge. The
Probably
engineers, the engineers occasionally bug you and tell you, "Hey, turn off this system. Turn off this system."
both. Oh, okay,
As
sure.
as they
He's
start to make changes.
he's following orders. He's listening to them.
And you'll notice that whenever anybody speaks with you, there's always at least like another person with that person.
Actually, trying to be super friendly with them to earn trust, and like he's always like, "Hey, you need any help with that?" And like he's always kind of like in baseball, there's like the butt slap and stuff like that. He's always kind of doing that.
Oh, you will be told off the second that you try to do a butt slap to people.
So he won't do that. Okay. he's you don't know about Urian yet, but he's a huge fan of like baseball and also spaceball, which I assume is baseball in space.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, spaceballs.
So
he won't do
His
that.
gaze down.
So his sensor roll is going to be 2d6 plus 5.
Okay.
This is also one of the reasons I'm excited to have Urian on the ship.
9. I've been rolling a lot of runs today. Wow.
So drifting along the edge of your sensors, you can detect a mostly intact hull that seems to be going past the hidden depot. You can make a computers check to see if anything registers within your library.
Do that.
Okay, so your computers check. Oh, because you have those computers. 2d6 plus 6, since you're utilizing your system.
Okay. 8. Oh, 2 ones.
Wow. You get a... Well, no, it's 2 ones. Okay, so in this case, you will fail. Your system is
You fucking
completely
idiot.
unsure of what this is. You're getting no match. Do you
another
want to
computers
try
check?
to call over to the Gani McCore?
I'll do that. I'll contact Akuna and be like, "Hey, Captain, I'm seeing something on my sensors."
Well, when you call over, first you see the bright young face of Vim saying, "This is the Gani McCore, the Vim, working night shift. How may I help you?"
Hi, Vim.
Vim? Is it Vim? I guess you guys have never met.
Hi there, Vim. Can you transfer me to the captain, please?
The captain is currently sleeping.
Well,
Can I assist you?
are you the highest ranking officer on the bridge?
I am the captain's attaché, and I'm currently operating this bridge. I can assist you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm seeing a ship on my sensors, and my computer doesn't recognize it. Just wanted to keep you informed about it, just in case.
Acknowledged. Do you wish to transfer over your sensor data, and I can take a look at it? Maybe I can figure this out.
You know what? He's like, this is a trust thing. He's like, sure.
Okay. Oh.
God damn it, Vim. Every fucking time with this kid.
You send it over, and his face lights up. And he said, well, certain people might not have known to cross-reference historical texts as well. But this appears to be the wreckage of an ancient Sindalian vessel.
Oh, nice. Should we salvage it?
Well, we're currently undergoing a salvage operation on your ship, Urian, Mr. Urian.
Our crews are spread pretty thin, I think.
I think the captain should decide on this though, just in case. I mean, what if he finds out that like good salvage happened and you didn't pursue it under your watch?
Vim bites his lip. I can see that argument, Mr. Urian. Please hold. Would anyone else have volunteered for night shift of the players, like Monty? Would Sharky Sparks have volunteered?
Isn't he still asleep?
No, this is like the next day.
His question stands. Isn't he still asleep?
Isn't he still asleep?
Roll for me. Let me see. Sharky Sparks. What is his endurance? -1, of course. 2d6 -1.
Okay.
You sound really clear, Monty.
Yeah, I was about to say you're
8.
coming through very clearly.
He would have woken up this morning, but he would have felt like you slept really, really well, like deeper than you had thought. But no nightmares.
Then yeah, Sharky would have volunteered for day and night shift.
Monty, what mic are you using right now?
I'm just using my phone. My Bose headphones died.
Oh, that sucks.
This is the best voice quality I think I've ever heard from you on Discord.
Yeah.
Phone do you have?
One of the new Galaxy ones.
Oh,
There you
nice.
go. Well, okay, so you're on the bridge there while Vim is kind of hesitating and has put Urian on hold.
Also, Sven would have kind of split so that he was on duty half the time for day and half the time for night.
Okay. So yeah, so you're seeing Vim kind of handle this dilemma, and he seems to be a bit split. Do you want to interject? You've kind of heard this conversation.
Not my monkeys, not my circus.
What do you think, Vim? Is this something the captain would want to know?
Well, we are busy with this operation, and we are very short-handed. Maybe it's something that we just log, and maybe next time we are back in this area, we try to locate it again?
Is it just drifting, or is it moving?
From the sensor data, it looks like it's a derelict hulk out there.
We will make sure that we contact the captain first thing when he gets up.
Vim sighs in relief and then opens up the comm with Urian and says, we will alert the captain when he wakes up in the morning. We are here for quite a few more days anyway.
All right, sounds good.
Yes. All right.
Also,
good night.
sorry.
Good night, Mr. Urian.
All right, your name's Vim, right?
Yes, Mr. Urian.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my name's Urian. Good to meet you. Maybe we could, maybe we could talk more when you're free.
Well, I do know your name is Urian. I believe I've been calling you Mr. Urian this entire time, Mr. Urian.
Oh, you don't have to call me Mr. It's just Urian.
I see.
Do you have a preferred name, or do you like Vim?
Well, I am Vim, the captain's attaché.
Ah,
Thank
nice.
you very much. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too,
Click.
Vim. Have a good night. Oh, okay. Must have slipped.
Click. It's a boring conversation anyway.
I just roll my head on the desk.
All right. The next day.
Oh, Vim is just like a fucking savant.
I'm gonna see this. I'm gonna see this report, right?
Yes. First thing in the morning, you get the report about the Sindalian Hulk that was detected.
Do I know about all the strife about whether or not to wake me?
He did not include that in his
Okay.
report.
All right.
Do you
I would have
want to
included
do
it in
the
the security report. also.
What?
The detection of the ship, and I'll point out that I made the decision not to wake you.
Okay. Just a quick reminder. I think I left Vim in command, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's Vim's call.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Urian should know that too. I mean, if I leave Vim in command, he's the one that makes that call.
Okay.
I'll send you a quick text to be like, hey, when Vim's in command, he's in command.
Okay. I don't know who Vim was, so that's
Yeah.
why. But I'll make sure to remember that from now on.
Okay, so we're on to day 2 now. The work continues on your ship.
Okay. Can he talk to engineer?
Sure. An engineer is currently working aboard your ship.
So you're engineer, huh?
So at the moment, he's kind of like skittering in and out of your walls by the cargo bay. You catch him as a second, and he kind of looks back at you, juts his head to the side, clicks a few times, and says, "Obviously,
Oh, good to meet you. Name's Urian. He's gonna extend a hand out.
I have witnessed you."
Oh, actually, he's gonna try to hug him.
He is going to dart out of sight and into your walls.
Okay. Oh, not much of a hugger, huh? I get it.
He's in your walls.
He's in the walls. He's in the goddamn walls.
The call's coming from inside the walls.
Okay. Who's on? So it's going to be Andrew on census since it's the day. So
6 months later, I find like engineer dead in my walls.
2d6 plus 1 for Andrew's roll.
Oh.
You detect, and this is kind of like at the edge of the system by the sort of like debris, by this hidden field. You've detected what appears to be a derelict fuel tender. Unpowered, drifting.
Open fire.
Arming torpedoes, Captain.
Blow it out of the sky.
Well, if it's derelict, it's
No, I was kidding. We don't have to shoot at space trash.
like I said, add it to the log, and while it would be good to be able to salvage some of this stuff, we are kind of busy with our other operations, so we can only kind of make notes of these locations relative to our position and find out where they might. If we can.
How useful
continue
could this be to our current operation, though?
I mean, it does have a lot of. It probably has a lot of fuel aboard it. It probably has some spares that we can use, but ostensibly we have everything that we need right now.
We can always come back.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's go on to day 3.
At the end of day 2, I just kind of catch the engineering group as they're coming back. Ask them if everything is going well, if there are any concerns.
Yeah, so George, as he kind of hovers there in front of you, he's pulling off his customized vac suit that has no legs. And he says, well, we've made some progress, some inroads. There's some issues with his systems and our parts. But, we're finding some scrap out there as well that we're kind of integrating. So far, so good. I'd say.
No personnel conflicts. Everyone's getting along okay.
Now we're doing the buddy system when we're on board his ship. He tried to, there was an incident where he tried to touch Barbie's ass, but we stopped her from giving him a black eye.
Urian. The fuck, man.
Did not see that going very well, I'm sure.
Wait, what
All
happened?
right.
You tried to grab Barbie's ass.
You said the butt slap thing.
Yeah, but then you said, but then I decided not to do it.
Yeah, you tried to give a butt slap and you decided not to do. Well, they complained. I made it that it was Barbie that you first tried to.
Okay, so he probably wouldn't do that to a woman because, like, I feel like he'd understand the negative connotations of that.
Yeah, you know, you would just completely destroy the mind of a human being.
Right. Would never grab a woman's ass, though.
You would respect a woman's bodily autonomy.
I like.
I actually kind of respect that, actually, a little bit.
Well, okay. So we'll switch it to you try to do it to Billiam, and Billiam would have none of it.
Okay.
So
oh,
it's a sweet kind of chivalry, actually.
Okay, well, as long as everything's under control, if anything gets questionable, come let me or Andrew know.
he must not like space baseball, huh?
Acknowledged. All right. So yep, they'll all go for some bed rest. Next day. Oh, I missed so many times. Yay. Always good to be able to use these when you make them. Okay, Andrew.
Isn't it Isn't Urian?
It's Urian's turn.
Oh well, no. So basically, something happened and it was discovered. There was nothing really more to discover that day, so I kind of skipped
okay.
that.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
All you spot is the same fuel tender on your scanner.
It's fine.
Blow it up.
If you want to roll for Urian later that night.
Sure. 2d6 plus 5, right?
Yes.
9.
You detect the same derelict fuel tender.
No computer check required, right? Because we know what it is now.
Yes. Right, so that's day 3. Are you still using the tea every night for Sharky Sparks?
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Okay. So you're doing like double shift, so you're maybe getting 4 hours of sleep a night. Okay. What do you want Urian to do?
Can Urian call Vim and maybe while this is going on at night, him and Vim talk?
Okay, so you call him night 3.
Yeah. Hey Vim, it's me Urian. Just wanted to talk to you, ask how things are doing.
All systems are optimal, Mr. Urian. We have detected objects and we have them logged, and we are continuing sensor sweeps. Well, you are continuing our sensor sweeps, and did you find something new?
No, I just wanted to call and talk to you, I guess. Just trying to make friends, I guess.
I see, Mr. Urian, and how are you trying to make these friends?
Well, they say talking is a good way to do it, right? So I thought I'd call you, talk to you.
He nods slowly. Yes, it's a much better way to make friends, talking.
Anyway, how'd you join a Clueless crew?
Oh, they put out a notice for potential crew members, and I was on the floating city of Drinax.
Oh, nice. And that's who you guys serve, right?
I'm not privy to the details of what association with Drinax we have, if any.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
He gets very stiff and formal with you as you.
Them's like snitches get stitches, Urian.
Okay. So, like, what's your favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yeah, like trying to learn stuff about you. I guess that's what they say good friends do, right?
Well, from my experience, Mr. Urian, good friends look out for one another. They try to help one another to be better, to survive and thrive. It's not just little details about their lives that matter, it's their actions that matter.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
And whether or not they
So-
obliterated a man's consciousness.
So, so it's less about learning about someone and more about doing things for them. I gotcha.
Doing things for them, yes, but in ways that really help them. Sometimes, yes, knowing about a person can help give you context in how to help them.
Okay, I gotcha. I'm picking up. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right, cool. I appreciate it, Vim. Thank you. You got a good head on your shoulders.
I try, Mr. Urian, and this is all just on voice, and he kind of looks over towards Sven and Sharky Sparks and just mouths, "Help me."
Urian, we need to communicate with over with Krish. We need to clear the channel for a while.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yes. Okay, sorry about this. Vim out.
Oh, okay. Good talking to you. And then, hey, Richard. So
Yeah.
Can I
hearing that,
teleport into Vim's room?
No, you're asleep right now, right, Akluna?
I think so, yeah.
Okune is asleep. Yeah.
Also, it is 9:33, so after this question and after this, we should probably think about wrapping it up.
Okay, so that's what I want to do. Hearing that, like, doing things for people makes you be their makes them be your friends. He's gonna teleport into Akluna's room and watch over him like a hawk while he's sleeping, guarding him.
Okay. First, roll me your life detection ability.
Okay, are you okay with this, Akluna, or no?
I'm asleep.
Well, Akluna is asleep.
Are you okay with this, Daniel? Sorry.
I'm
so
asleep.
So this is going to be for you 2d6 plus 7.
Okay, he's not gonna be in his armor when he does this.
Also, but will you have enough
Plus
like force?
vision?
Will you have enough force powers to like get back to your ship?
Well, isn't it docked?
I can't remember if we undocked or not.
I mean, at this stage, you could have kept it docked just to make it easier for them to get back and forward.
Yeah, that's probably if it would it slow down their progress to have it docked.
They would tell you when they would need it undocked.
Oh, okay.
+7?
Yep.
Yeah, he has plus 7 for his telepathy.
All right, so 13.
Oh yeah, you know exactly where he is and everybody else on that ship.
All right, he's gonna teleport into Akluna's
Oh,
room.
and you do have enough points to teleport in and then teleport back out.
Okay. Cool.
So now roll for your teleportation. So this is going to be 2d6, and wait, what was that? Okay, so you're going to get a bonus from that. So that's going to be 13 is how much of a bonus? Let me just double check on this, because this will be the funniest time ever for you to roll 2 1s for a teleportation. So a 13, that's going to give you an extra +2, and Urian's teleportation ability is 1. So this is going to be 2d6 plus 3.
So are 2 1s just automatic failures, no matter what?
It's like a crit fail.
Okay. 9.
Yeah, you have teleported right to Okluna's sleeping side.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of like crawl up on like his neck. So I'm gonna crawl up on like the like, you know, like the I don't know if like
How do we figure out if this wakes me up? By the way.
Well, with that roll, he did it pretty like noiselessly. Like he doesn't
Okay.
really make much of a noise when he teleports. It's pretty silent.
I'm gonna kind of like perch like on like the edge of his bed, kind of like a hawk watching over him, making sure nothing happens to him. And then when he wakes up, I'm gonna be like, "Hey."
Well, do I wake up? Or are you trying to wake me up?
Oh, I'm just gonna watch
Okay.
over you while you sleep.
Oh, so you're gonna wait the whole like 8 hours for him to wake up naturally in the morning.
Yeah, he's gonna watch over him.
Okay, yep, so we'll end the session. Ukluna wakes up in the morning to his alarm, and then the first thing he sees is Urian's... Is Urian smiling?
No, he's just
As he
watching
says
over
that?
him. Yeah,
Oh.
well, he won't be smiling. He'll just kind of like, he'll just be like watching him like a hawk.
Just like dead-eyed, zoned out.
Akluna will, by the way, Akluna will
Rudy.
reflexively grab his flechette pistol and point it at Urian before he even realizes
Alright.
what's happening.
Do you want to roleplay
And
this
you-
real quick, Daniel, or no?
I'm not gonna shoot at you.
Well,
I'm just gonna point it at you.
No, but
We,
like
we,
talking.
we will pick up from here next session.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We'll be back. We'll be back next week, 7:30 p.m. Central for the next installment of Gungans and Dragons. Thank you for joining.